Driving without a valid license, DUI less safe. All right, what are we doing with this?
What's your recommendation? Is it just a typical first time recommendation?
If this is a first, then of course it's a standard first. Yeah, just a standard first on both of them. I mean, the license one is just going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to resolve that this morning. So he's in my office with me.
All right, what is, Madam Clerks, are the amounts on these correct? Because I know sometimes we have these $20 surcharges. I have the old printout, old calendar. I don't know if you guys went back to the old system.
No, they're not correct.
Okay.
We got you.
Different one.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you. If y'all can give me those numbers, so I can give Mr. Kessler that so he can let his client know.
Okay, so for the driving without a valid license, that one is $760. And then the DUI less safe, that one is $1,500.
So by my calculation, it's $2,260.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jason, so it's $2,260 and a standard first, so 40 hours community service, 12 months probation, MAD impact panel, drug and alcohol evaluation, random screenings, treatment if requested. Of course, there is no license to suspend. We'll give him credit for any of the time that he did in jail, so he will not have to go back to jail.
Okay, I'll talk to him about the plea, and we'll take care of that this morning, and it's fine. I got 4 appointed cases. I think let's go through those pretty quick. Let's do Crystal Reyes. Do you have that, Crystal Reyes?
That's page 3, Mr. Mary Rose.
Bottom page 3, expired license plate or decal, failed to maintain insurance.
Yeah, I talked to her last night. She just wants to bind it over. So if we could just bind that one over, please.
Got that. What's your next one?
Next one is Maria Hernandez.
Page 2.
All right. DUI, no license, failure to yield a right of way. Was this an accident?
Yes. I think the officer did not mark accident. Okay.
Let me look at the ticket. So nope, there's no accident. Vehicle was turned left. Let's see here. Police report. Others involved.
There should be an accident report. I only have the incident attached.
It says Chris Fields was the other person who was involved. Let's see, January 9th, 2022, dispatch in reference to a traffic accident. So, yep.
Attorney Kessler?
Yes.
Is your client with you?
The Sergio is with me and Antomo is with me. The appointed ones are no, they're not. No.
Okay. Have you spoken with Maria Hernandez recently?
I did. I spoke with Maria and I spoke with Crystal. I had some trouble getting in contact with the other 2.
The reason why I'm asking about Maria is because she's listed as missing person.
What?
I did talk with Maria last night.
Okay.
She's listed as a missing person?
Yes.
Okay.
You should tell me. Figure it out. Hey, Thor. He don't know.
Who's that?
I think that was one of the officers.
Ah.
Turn off his mic.
Person that's seen her move vehicle to disabling damage. Okay, so she hit a vehicle that was on the roadway when she was coming out of her driveway. Conditions and stumbling, attempting to stand up, field sobriety could not be done, and couldn't complete field sobriety because she was not steady on her feet. She was stumbling and struggling to stand up. Okay. All right. So what are we going to do with Miss Hernandez? She's on the Zoom.
She was, yeah, I talked to her last night. She was kind of undecided what she wants to do. If you would give me a little bit more time to speak with her and decide what to do on that case.
You want to reset?
Please. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Who you got next?
Lopez Sarabia.
All right. Same page.
Mhm.
This is DUI drugs, possession of an open container, driving without a valid license. And up here for Mr. Lopez. Green. Dark tan, nitro, traveling southbound on Hendricks Road with no headlights on. Vehicle came to post on an intersection of Hendricks Road without making a moving stop. Pull him over, initiated stop, driver. Asked Miss step out the vehicle and walked back to the car. Noticed stumbling slightly, losing her balance. She walked, I could smell strong back home. Person was eyes were glassy red. Strut arrived at the scene, translated. Coming from a party this night with his friend who was trying to make it home. To city view. Searched for contraband. Drugs, no contraband, legal drugs, weapons were found. Okay, so how did we have this charged? Possession of a container. All right. So test results showed outside provided small samples of breath, but due to not blowing completely in the tube, Officer Richard stopped the test showing she refused. All right, so the samples that helped submit to volunteers to provide reaction to determine if she was fit to drive, and she said no. She advised that she was being taken into custody for DUI left safe. Okay. At some point, she changed her mind and wanted to do the intoxilizer, but she did not blow enough to get a good sample. All right, sorry about that. I just had to kind of get brushed on. All right, what does Alcibiades want to do?
Yeah, I had some issues getting in contact with her from the telephone number that I had. Would it be a typical first time recommendation, or what would be anything unusual about this case? Or
Let me see here. 0. I mean, it's actually a refusal. And there really is no, oh, wait a minute. Cycle 1, 2022, October 1st. There was a charge from a DUI charge from Clayton County Sheriff's Office.
Mhm.
And driving without a valid license. So, yeah. Yeah, so there's nothing other than this particular charge, nothing
Mhm.
on the record. So it would be just a standard first.
Okay. Yeah, let's reset to give me a chance to try to contact him and decide what to do. So reset on this guy, please. Then
Kessler,
one more that go on.
Attorney Kessler.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but as it pertains to Maria Hernandez, can you have her reach out to us or local law enforcement so that we can remove her from showing missing on GCIC?
Sure, yes.
Thank you.
Mhm. Sure. And then the last one is Maria Carmen Perdomo, also a DUI.
Perdomo.
Page 3. Page 3.
And driving under the influence, driving without license, defective, no headlights. Perdomo. Okay. Here. All right. There's a- Yes, 5%. 21 translated to Spanish and read it again. Cases Officer Estrada, Jordan Ray being slightly explained. Yes. That's it. Provides 0.021. Control vehicle. Transport. Richard conducted a test using a top slides when Maria came back for a sample. All right, so she blew a 0.142.
Mm.
And cycle 1 DUI that was null prost and Griffin. And cycle 2. No. Cycle 2 clean. All right, so this is, although it was it's a second in life, although the first one was null pros. I don't know what that means. It would be treated as a first. So we can we treat that one as a first. It just depends on what she wants to do.
Okay, let's do a reset on her. I'll try. I called her several times. She never responded. So let's do a reset, try to get in contact with her and decide what to do, please.
All right. That's your last
Okay.
one?
I'm going to talk to Sergio about the plea and I'll be ready in a few minutes.
Okay. All right, no worries.
Hi, Solicitor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Tornes, what was decided about him? Anselmo Tornes?
Yeah, that was to get the insurance letter, reset to get the insurance letter.
Okay, so a reset. Thank you.
And do we have any officers that are not going to be here?
Officer
Someone-
Askew sent in a court conflict letter. We also have Officer Gladman that is no longer with the department.
Officer A. Holmes is no longer with the department either.
Oh,
All right. Holmes is on the first page, okay.
I think that's pretty much it. Officer Johnson, she was training Officer Frederick, so he's the one that's here for that case.
Okay, Aguilar Martinez is,
And he's actually here in the courtroom.
yeah, I want to see if this is not an accident case.
It is single vehicle accident.
Oh, single vehicle accident. Driver was investigating an auto accident and struck a light pole. I mean, it's kind of hard not to try that because he either struck the pole or he didn't. There's really no way, but I don't have an officer that's going to be able to testify to that. Dispatch. Driver wants to be driving westbound on Rock Springs Street. Driver wants that another vehicle came into his lane or one pulled over, avoided the vehicle by going off the road. Driver wants to struck a pole and their tires were collapsed and or one plane series of time. Okay. So he's here.
Yes,
Is he in the courtroom?
yes,
Does he need a Spanish interpreter?
yes. Mr.
Can we just go ahead and get him up? Let's go ahead and deal with him. We're just going to dismiss it against him.
Okay. Martínez Carlos Aguilera, por favor, acérquese al podio.
Buenos
Okay.
días.
Buenos días. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Aguilar.
Señora Aguilera?
Buenos días, sí, dígame.
Yes, I'm here, but good morning.
Your charge is being dismissed for want of prosecution.
Su caso, su cargo lo van a sobreseer, lo van a retirar porque no pueden proceder con su caso.
So as long as you fill out your plea sheet with the not guilty on it, once you turn that into the clerk, you're free to go.
Una vez que usted llene el documento que le dieron como se declara y ponga no culpable, ya se puede retirar porque el caso se lo quitaron, lo sobreseyeron.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, de nada.
All right. That one is done. Right away, Mr. Aiken.
I'm sorry, hold on for 1 second. He has a question.
Okay.
Ajá, dígame qué pregunta tiene, señor.
Entonces, como no fui culpable de eso, entonces no voy a obtener ningún punto en la licencia, ¿verdad? Porque
Since I'm not guilty of that, I'm not going to have any points. No va a tener puntos porque le quitaron el cargo, o sea, se lo sobreseyeron, lo retiraron.
no, muchas gracias.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, de nada.
All right, so it looks like I have a witness on Mr. Aiken, who's the second one on the calendar for a Lamar Tavion or Tavion Lamar. Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, you have actually 3 witnesses. One is here in the courtroom with me.
Okay,
And
Okay.
Ashley Allen is online.
so Ashley Allen. And who's the one in the courtroom?
The one in the courtroom is Lakeisha Dixon.
Lakeisha Dixon. Me. Tavarian. And is Mr. Aiken present?
No, not in the courtroom. I see how they have it listed in the waiting room. I'm assuming that it's just Ashley Allen for John Aiken.
That's correct.
Okay.
Oh, so Ashley Allen is a witness for John Aiken, or she's
Mhm.
witness against him?
He's against.
Okay, but we don't have a Mr. John Aiken. Can we just make an announcement? Is there any way for y'all to go into the waiting room? And well, so let me ask, how many people do we have in the waiting room?
Just one.
Okay, so we know he's not present in court,
He's not.
and we know he's not in the waiting room because we have Miss Allen in there, and she's not a witness for him.
Correct.
All right, let's bring Miss Allen in real quick.
He got the notice because he filed not guilty. So he got a new reset letter. Do you know him?
Yeah, I do.
So are you a witness for him?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I have the lady,
I got one with my name on it.
he wouldn't have gotten the same thing you got because he's the defendant.
Quando la polizia ti chiederò quanto pagaste per la salute.
Hey, Jason, can you mute your device? Thank you. Miss Allen?
Yes,
Miss Allen, let me ask you, I'm looking at this police report. Were you a witness for or against Mr. Pitts,
Ma'am,
the gentleman that was driving the other vehicle? You were involved in the accident?
yes, I was. That's the father of my kids. So
Okay,
we were in the car together.
you were in the car with him. All right.
Yes, and both of our kids, yes.
And is he with you on the Zoom?
He should be. He's a truck driver. So he just texted me and told me that he pulled over in order to join the Zoom meeting. So I assume he should be joining any moment now.
All right, well, just hang on for a second. If you can just mute your device, we'll see if he logs in. If he doesn't within the next couple of minutes, though, we're gonna move on with this case.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning.
We're going through the calendar trying to see where we potentially have trials. It looks like we have one plea with Mr. Kessler that is I believe a DUI, but let me finish before we start with that plea. Let me finish
Okay.
going through the calendar.
Go ahead and finish up and just let me know when you're ready.
All right.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Madam Clerk, the next one I have on here is Alexander Baba. Is that person present in the courtroom?
yes.
Okay.
Mona,
And if you can bring Mr. Baba up, let me
he's,
pull up his case.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Baba. Hold on one second. I'm trying to.
Can see you both there, okay? Right there. Oh, okay, okay.
are you Mr. Preston?
All right. Do we have a Mr. Presley that's present in court?
No, we have a Mr. Smith.
Is Mr. Smith was involved in the accident with Mr. Baba?
I was a witness. We worked together and I was trailing them to the body shop.
Okay. You're a witness for Mr. Baba.
Yes, sir.
All right. Can we make an announcement for Mr. Pitts? I'm sorry,
Presley.
Presley. Can we make an announcement for Mr. Presley in court?
He's not here.
All right. And so, Mr. Baba, based on the fact that the other driver that was involved in the accident with you is not present in court, we're going to dismiss the case against you for warrant of prosecution. Keep in mind, though, that if they do reappear, that within the next 6 months, that case can be brought back. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for right now, it's being dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Your
Thank you,
plea
sir.
sheet. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Is there a way that John can, April can log in on Zoom too?
He has it. His, I hate to say this word, baby mom. She said she gave him the information. Miss Ashley Allen.
We don't know, and that's the other lady that's in there.
Yeah, she's
That's
the,
not, me and John were in the car together, she was in the job.
All right, Madam Clerk, can we go on to Miss LaJonda Burton? Is that person in court or on Zoom?
Miss Burton is not in the courtroom.
All right, so that's going to be an FTA. And then page 2, these were Jason's cases. We have one plea on that. We'll come back to that one. The other 2 are resets. Then we have on page 3, Takesha Myers.
We do not have a Takesha Myers, but we do have Anthony Davenport in the courtroom.
All right, and Mr. Davenport would be the person who was involved in the accident, Ms. Myers, correct?
Mhm.
We can bring Mr. Davenport up.
Can we make sure that the people that are not here are not in the queue, or have you all already done that?
We have, Judge. There's nobody left in the queue.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Davenport is present. Yes. Anthony. Mr. Davenport?
Good morning.
Mr. Davenport, apparently the driver in the vehicle that caused the accident that you were involved in is not present. It is now 8:36. We're going to mark her as a failure to appear. We will subpoena you if we come in contact with her. We'll let you know far enough in advance and you can just reappear. It may be on Zoom. If you'd like to appear on Zoom the next time instead of being physically there, then as long as they give you that information, then you're free to do that. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So you're free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so that page 3, we have another reset and bind over on that page. So now we're looking for a Nicole Spencer, which is at the top of page 4.
Is not present in the courtroom.
So that's going to be an FTA and that it is at 8:36. All right, and then we have a Notorious Taylor.
Not in the courtroom.
All right, and that is an FTA at 8:37. And then the last one on that page is a reset for Jason. And then the last person on the calendar, Courtney Wilson.
Not in the courtroom.
All right. So that's going to be an FTA also at 8:37. It looks as if Mr. Pitts has logged on. So let's go ahead and get the plea on Jason's case. That is Figueroa. Judge Freeman.
Here, what is the recommendation?
All right, so Ms. Figueroa, this is a first on the DUI. There's a fine for the driving without a valid license of $760. The DUI is $1,500. Total fine amount is $2,260. DUI is a standard first, so it's going to be 12 months probation, 40 hours community service, MAD impact panel course.
Could the translator, is she available, the translator, or?
So the judge is going to go back through it during the
Oh,
plea.
got it. That's fine. Okay,
I'm just giving him the details.
thanks.
The last thing I said was, what was it, Judge?
MAD impact panel course.
Okay, and so there's going to be a drug eval with treatment if recommended. Random screens. Credit
And
for
risk
time.
reduction and the risk reduction course.
Correct.
Okay. And how about a first DUI conviction? He's not eligible because he doesn't have a license.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Righty. And we're doing credit for time served, so there's no additional jail time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, Judge, we're ready to go.
Okay. Well, I see Miss Ida. Miss Ida, you ready to rock and roll?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
All right. This is the matter regarding Sergio Morales Figueroa.
Este es el caso en relación a Sergio Morales Figueroa.
He has been charged with driving without a valid license
Lo acusan por manejar sin licencia válida
and DUI less safe.
y maniobrar los efectos del alcohol menos apto o seguro para manejar.
He's represented by attorney Jason Kessler.
Su abogado que lo representa es el abogado Jason Kessler.
Senor Figueroa, what is your plea to the charge of driving without a valid license?
Señor Figueroa, ¿cómo se declara el cargo de manejar sin una licencia válida?
Habla fuerte.
Culpable.
Guilty.
What is his plea to DUI less safe?
¿Y cómo se declara el cargo de manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol que lo hace menos apto o seguro para manejar?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Does he understand that he's entering this plea with the assistance of Jason Kessler?
¿Usted entiende que usted está declarando de esta manera con el asesoramiento del abogado Jason Kessler?
Sí.
Does he
Yes.
also understand that by entering the plea, he is waiving his right to a trial?
También al declararse culpable, usted renuncia al derecho a tener un juicio. ¿Entendió eso?
Sí.
Is he
Yes.
entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Se está declarando de esta manera por su propia voluntad y
Sí.
Yes.
And does he believe it is in his best interest to enter into the guilty plea to the two charges?
¿Y usted considera que lo que más le conviene es declararse culpable a estos dos cargos?
Sí.
Yes.
Let him know that the court will accept his guilty plea to both charges,
¿El juez va a aceptar su declaración de culpable a los dos cargos?
Sí.
and the court will sentence him as follows.
Y la condena que va a imponer el juez es la siguiente.
On the driving without a valid license, he will pay a fine of $760.
Por manejar sin licencia va a pagar una multa de $760.
Sí.
On the DUI charge, he will pay a fine of $1,500.
Y en el cargo de manejar bajo los efectos del alcohol va a pagar una multa de $1,500.
His total fine will be $2,260.
Las multas en total serían $2,260.
Okay.
He will be placed on probation for 12 months.
Lo van a poner bajo libertad condicional o libertad vigilada por 12 meses.
12
Okay.
months. 12 months of his probation is mandatory.
Esos 12 meses de libertad vigilada son obligatorios, los 12 meses.
Okay.
While on probation, he must complete 40 hours of community service during the first 150 days.
En los primeros 150 días tiene que completar 40 horas de servicio a favor de la comunidad como parte de o términos de su condición de libertad vigilada.
Okay.
At a recognized nonprofit approved by the probation department.
En un sitio donde tiene que ser reconocido y aprobado por el Departamento de Libertad Vigilada. Tiene que consultar con ellos para que ellos se lo aprueben antes de empezar.
Okay.
Okay.
He also must complete a MAD impact panel course.
También tiene que completar un curso de impacto de MAD, que son, ¿is that Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, Jonah?
Yes.
Okay, y esa es una asociación que son madres en contra de las personas que manejan bajo los efectos del alcohol. Es un curso que tiene que tomar cómo impacta a esta organización.
Okay.
He also must undergo a drug and alcohol evaluation.
También tiene que seguir una evaluación de drogas y alcohol, someterse a una evaluación de estas.
Okay.
And if treatment is recommended, he must partake of that treatment.
Si recomiendan que necesita tener un tratamiento, tiene que seguir el tratamiento que le recomienden.
Okay.
He also must complete a risk reduction course within the first 150 days of his probation.
También tiene en los primeros 150 días tiene que completar un curso para las personas que manejan bajo los efectos del alcohol para reducir este riesgo.
Okay.
Okay.
On probation will perform random alcohol and drug screens.
Mientras está bajo libertad vigilada, ellos van a llevar a cabo exámenes de detención al azar de drogas y alcohol.
Okay.
Okay.
And he must abstain from the consumption of alcohol and non-prescribed drugs.
Y tiene que abstenerse de ingerir drogas y de drogas, alcohol y drogas que han sido prescritas por un médico.
Okay.
Again, his total fine is $2,260.
Sus multas en total son $2,260.
Just there's a bond in the case, I believe in his name of $1,500. Can that just automatically be used to pay part of the fine?
Yes, if he has a cash bond in his name, Attorney Kessler, that will be applied and he will be ordered to pay the balance of $760, assuming the bond is $1,500.
Okay.
Y que si te pusieron una te pagaron una fianza en dinero en efectivo, puede utilizar esa fianza para pagar, creo que su abogado dijo que son $1,500, entonces él quedaría debiendo el resto que son $760, si se lo aprueba libertad vigilada.
Let him know that for every month that he's on probation, he must pay a monthly probation fee.
Cada mes que usted esté en libertad vigilada, tiene que pagar un costo de libertad vigilada mensual, aparte de las multas.
Okay.
Ask him, does he have any questions regarding the sentencing of the court?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta sobre la imposición de la pena?
Está bien así.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
Attorney Kessler, is that your understanding of the negotiated plea, sir?
Yes, it is.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, is that your understanding of the negotiated plea?
It is, Your Honor.
All right,
Y que esto está de acuerdo con lo que había acordado.
the court will accept the plea accordingly. He will, we will email to him his plea form. We will email that to his attorney.
El juez va a aceptar la declaración que usted ha puesto y entonces van a mandarle a su abogado el documento para que firme cómo se declara, su documento de cómo presentó su declaración.
Ask him to enter his guilty plea, and thereafter he will receive his probation information.
Y ahí se va a poner cómo se declara y lo va a devolver ese documento electrónico y también le van a devolver, le van a mandar entonces la información de cómo hacerlo de libertad vigilada.
Judge Freeman,
Yes,
I don't see any indication of a cash bond. Did he pay cash bond, cash? Or did he go through?
Que no ven ninguna indicación de que haya pagado una fianza en efectivo. ¿Usted pagó en efectivo o usaron una compañía de fianzas?
En tarjeta pagué.
I paid with a credit card.
Okay.
so what we will do is right now, his total fine is $2,260, but if he's able to provide proof or we can verify that there's a cash bond of $1,500, then the probated payment amount will be $760.
Ok, hasta ahora lo que vemos que su total son 2.260. Si usted puede traer un comprobante de que, o se puede comprobar de que usted pagó los 1.500, entonces se quedaría debiendo 760, pero por ahora tiene que mostrar porque no sale que usted que se haya hecho otro pago.
Okay.
Okay.
And please let him understand that every month he's on probation, he must pay a monthly probation fee, which is in addition to the fine amount.
Y entienda de que cada mes que esté en libertad vigilada tiene que pagar un costo de libertad vigilada aparte de las multas. Hay un costo mensual de libertad vigilada.
That will be the sentence of the court. We will forward his plea form and his probation information to his attorney of record, Attorney Kessler. Attorney Kessler, is this court appointed or is this private pay?
It is a private, Judge, private.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay, que le van a mandar todos los documentos a su abogado para que cómo se va a declarar y la información de libertad vigilada.
Okay.
Thank you, Attorney Kessler. That will conclude this matter.
Thank you.
Okay, esto concluye este asunto. Gracias.
Do we have any other matters that require interpreting services?
I
I don't think so, Your Honor, but
Okay, well, let me start at the top. It seems like this Senor Aguilera, is he not appear or what?
yeah, he did. We finished his case. It was a dismiss, Your Honor.
Okay, so that one was a DWAP. All right, and I'm just flipping through. How about Maria Hernandez?
Reset.
Okay, that one was reset. How about Alcibiades Lopez Saravia?
Reset as well.
Okay. How about Maria Perdomo Villanueva?
Reset.
All right, thank you. Okay, I think that would take care of anyone that I thought might need interpreting services. Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Ida. We will see you this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, do we have any trials? It looks like, is there an announcement on the John Aiken matter?
We do. Mr. Aiken is present. We have the.
I'm present. Okay, thank you. How about LaJohnia Burton?
I'm sorry, sir?
I was going to the next person, which is Jonda Burton. Is there an announcement on that one?
That was an FTA.
Okay, thank you. And how about Crystal Reyes?
Bind over.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And that takes care of the calendar. So it looks like that we're going to have a trial on John Aiken. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right, everyone. Go ahead, Ms. Yates.
Can all of the officers except for Officer Moore be dismissed?
They can be. That is correct. Thank you, Ms. Yates.
Also, Your Honor, we have Mr. Courtney Wilson who walked in late. He is here in the courtroom.
Okay, is he on the calendar? Oh, yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay. And what is his plea to the charge of driving a vehicle without a proper tag? an expired tag?
What's your plea? Come, you talk to the judge.
He's charged with an expired tag.
I thought it was for insurance.
Can I get someone to look at the ticket? Because the docket says expired tag.
Expired or no license plate or decal. That's what I.
Okay, that's fine.
What is your plea to that, sir? Guilty, not guilty, or no low contendere?
Nolo.
All right, do you understand? Is he eligible for a no low plea?
One moment.
And sir, if you are eligible for a no low plea, do you understand that by entering the plea, you're doing this without the assistance of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And sir, do you also understand that by entering into the plea that you are waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you entering into the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And sir, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter into the no low plea if you are eligible?
Yes.
He is eligible, Judge Freeman.
Okay, sir, the court will accept your no low plea to the expired tag charge. That fine is $155. Are you able to satisfy that within 2 weeks, or do you need a longer period of time?
No, that's fine.
All right, you will be given a plea form to which you will enter a no low plea. Please give that back to Ms. Green. She then will give you a 2-week agreement. Make sure that you comply and make full payment within that 2-week time period. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
Yes, sir. Does this get reported to my insurance?
Well, expired tag is a non-reportable offense.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, you take care of yourself.
You too,
All
sir.
right, I'm going to call the case of John Aiken. And it looks like there are witnesses Lamar Pitts, Ashley Allen, and Lakeisha Dixon.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Dixon is in the courtroom with me.
And Officer T. Moore. Everyone that is going to testify, if you will please turn on your video and raise your right hand. Mr. Aiken, turn on your video, sir. Everyone that is testifying, please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If so, say I do.
I do.
I do.
All right, Mr. Prosecutor, you want to go ahead and present the case?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Aiken's before the court because on January 7th of 2023, he was issued a citation for failure to yield while entering an intersection by Officer Moore. Officer Moore, on the date in question, did you have an opportunity to come in contact with Mr. Aiken?
I did.
Was that contact within the city limits of Forest Park?
Yes,
And are you a post-certified peace officer with arrest powers?
I am.
Can you briefly state the nature of that contact?
During the contact, it was an accident. I asked what happened. He stated that he was leaving out of the BP parking lot and he crossed over the turn lane and helped the other vehicle driver too.
I'm sorry, it may be my communication, but I didn't quite make that out. You got a bit gargled. Can you repeat that again, sir?
Oh, yeah. So he stated that I asked how the incident occurred. He stated that once he crossed over the lanes to get onto to go out into traffic, he struck the vehicle 2 that was in the central turning lane.
Okay. So vehicle 2 was already in the main road and Mr. Aiken, according to his statement given to you, was trying to get onto that main road when the accident occurred. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And no other questions, Judge.
All right, Mr. Aiken, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the officer regarding his testimony?
I wanted to know, he said that I struck a vehicle when I was trying to get into the turning lane, but the vehicle actually struck me as I was trying to get in, into the highway.
So Mr. Aiken, this is the point where you get to ask questions. There will come a time during this trial that you'll get to make a statement. Do you understand that?
Right. That's what I understand.
Do you have any questions? If there's a question, please frame it as a question.
Okay, no, I'm good.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to the next person. And is that noise in your background, Mr. Aiken? All right, you want to go ahead and go call the next person?
That would be, well, actually, that would be Mr. Pitts. Mr. Pitts was the other individual involved.
And Mr. Aiken, if you have a hat or something on your head, can I ask you to remove it because you are in a live court session that's being videoed, unless it is there for religious reasons?
I'm actually at my job at the moment, so that's
I
my,
understand that, but you are also in court live, and so I will need for you to comply with that, okay? Thank you, sir. All right, you want to go ahead and get the next person that you'd like to call, Mr. Prosecutor?
Yeah, Mr. Pitts, if you can unmute your device, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we got you. So, Mr.
Okay.
Pitts, on the date in question, were you involved in a motor vehicle accident with Mr. Aiken?
Correct.
All right, and you were the driver of the other vehicle that was involved in that accident, is that correct?
Correct.
Could you state to the court how the accident occurred from your position?
So as I'm merging into the turning lane to turn to the main road of Forest Park, he was coming out of the gas station, the BP that's that intersects across from it's Zesto's. I'm not mistaken. It's a restaurant that's on the corner.
Yes.
BP across. He was coming through. You know what I'm saying, the two lanes. I stopped when I noticed that he was coming out. Stayed still. He continued to proceed when she ran into the car, knocked out the bumper, knocked out the headlight, and then that's when we pulled over.
Okay.
So I was at a complete stop before, so he continued to hit the car.
All right, now you started off your testimony by stating that you were getting ready to merge into the turning lane. Had you gotten into the turning lane when the accident happened?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I was in the turning lane. I was getting from the left lane to the turning lane before making it to the light, but I stopped prior because, so how he was coming out of the gas station, how the gas station and light sits. I came to a complete stop before he continued to hit the car.
Okay. No further questions for this witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Aiken, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Mr. Pitts?
Okay, so I was just trying to ask, how did I hit the car if you stopped, if I was coming straight out to make a left?
It wasn't a straight out. You came at an angle. And you proceeded to continue when it's knocked off the bumper and the headlight. If you would have came straight out, it would have avoided the whole situation. But you was at an angle, and I was at a complete stop when you came.
Okay, so my next question is, how did you end up hitting the tire of the truck?
I didn't hit the tire of the truck. I was at a complete stop. You continue to come. You look both ways. I looked you dead in your eyes. And you continue to proceed when it's knocked off the bumper and the headlight. Right. If I'm at a complete stop, like you said, if I'm at a complete stop, how can I hit you? You're the only one that's moving.
Mr. Pitts, just answer the question and then allow Mr. Aiken to ask his next question. Mr. Aiken, if you will please just ask questions and let him respond. You will get a chance to say what happened when you present your version of the case, sir, okay?
Okay.
So, do you have any other questions?
Yes, sir. So if you came to a complete stop, how is it possible for me to hit your car when making a turn?
Judge, that was asked and answered. I believe Mr. Pitt's testimony was that Mr. Aiken came at an angle, and by the time he was able to make a complete stop, the impact had already occurred.
Do you understand that is his testimony, Mr. Aiken? Do you have any other questions, sir?
No, sir. I'll just wait till it's my turn to give my testimony.
Okay. Does the city have any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The city would call Ashley Allen. I believe she was a passenger in the vehicle with Mr. Pitts. Is that correct, Ms. Allen?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. And on the date in question, were you involved in a motor vehicle accident where Mr. Pitts was driving and Mr. Aikens was the other driver of the car involved in the accident?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Can you state from your position how you observed the accident occurred?
Yes, sir. Like Mr. Pitt said, we were already in the turning lane when the defendant was trying to come out and cross over those two lanes from the BP. Like you said, we were already at a complete stop, and he was at an angle to which he kept inching closer to the car, which caused a lot of damage to my car versus he only had a scratch on his rim. Just due to him being in a SUV, his car sits higher than my Malibu.
Okay. And the damage to the vehicle, so it's the vehicle belongs to you, but Mr. Pitts was driving, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. And the damage to your vehicle, where was it located?
Basically the whole front. Yeah, the whole front, the bumper, the grill, the headlight, that all of that had to be, redone. And I think like the radiator and stuff that's like right behind it. Like I said, the whole front had to be redone when I got it fixed.
So is it correct to state, based on your testimony, that while you guys were at a standstill, the vehicle driven by Mr. Aiken scraped from the passenger side all the way across to the driver's side of the front of your vehicle?
From like the middle of like the car, like I said, like the grill and the the manufacturer's logo and all of that. Yes, sir.
All right. No further questions for this witness, Judge.
Mr. Aiken, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Ms. Allen?
No, sir.
All right. Does the city have any other witnesses?
City has no other witnesses, Judge.
Does the city rest?
The city rests.
All right, Mr. Aiken, the city has rested its version of the case, sir. Now you can present your case. If there are witnesses or documents or anything you'd like to introduce, or if you would like to testify, sir, you have the right to do that, so go ahead.
Okay, so my version of the whole situation was the light was red. As I proceeded to come out of the BP, traffic stopped at the red light. I came out to make my left turn. Now, when I came all the way out, everything was stopped. Wasn't nothing else coming. So if they were at a complete stop, my thing is, I would have hit something else besides the side or whatever else, and my car would have been more messed up than what it is. So if it's just the rim that had a scratch on it, that means that the impact came from the other vehicle that struck me. You get what I'm saying? So for you riding down the turning lane, that's exactly how that happened. So there's no possible way for me to actually come out of the BP at a red light and try to make my left turn and actually strike another vehicle and scratch it from one side of the car to the other with no damage to the other vehicle. So there was a red light, and when I came to the stop to come out there, I looked both ways as the plaintiff said, or whatever may have you. And also, when I came out, I looked both ways. So then I proceeded to go on. That's when I realized that the car was coming, and it was too late by that time. And he struck the left front rim of the tire. That's why there was only a scratch on the tire, on the rim. And from my understanding before too, I also have gotten in trouble before for riding down the turning lane too far. I think it's a limit of how far you're supposed to come down to the turning lane where the line breaks or something like that. Because there was no other car right there in the turning lane at the red light. So that's why I pleaded not guilty. That's my testimony of the whole situation right there. And we pulled over, went to the Zestos, and that's when we called the police and gave the report and everything like that.
All right, Mr. Aiken, the prosecutor does have a right to ask you questions. Mr. Prosecutor, do you have any questions, sir?
I do, Mr. Aiken. Let me ask you, you were exiting out of the BP gas station right there on the corner of Forest Park and Old Dixie. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, and you are aware that if you are exiting out of a location, traveling on the main road, you have to yield to oncoming traffic. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir, and I did that because the light was red. Everyone stopped and let me out. It was a red light.
I'm sorry, you said that everybody stopped and let you out?
The light was red, so the traffic that was coming, they opened up a little piece of space to let me out. The light was red. We was at a red light.
All right. So then was Mr. Pitt's vehicle stopped also? I think Mr. Aiken froze on us, Judge.
I think so.
Come home, B.
Let me just say this to everyone. While trial is being conducted, please refrain from making any responses, laughter, or anything else during the testimony. Let's be respectful of everybody's testimony. Mr. Aiken?
He came, oh, there he is. Mr. Aiken, can you hear us?
Could you repeat that?
Can you hear us better now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I believe your previous testimony was that people were letting you out because the light was red, so everybody was stopped. Wouldn't that include Mr. Pitt's vehicle also?
No, sir, it wouldn't.
So how is everybody stopped and Mr. Pitts is still moving?
Because he was merging down the turning lane and coming towards the red light, and I was coming out. And when I came out, he struck the front tire of my car. That's how the accident happened, as far as the bumper falling off and all of that stuff like that. There's no way that I would have been able to pull out and scrape the front of his bumper with no other damage to the car. And this the rim of my car knocked his bumper, radiator, and all that messed up like that.
All right, let me just go back to my original statement. You were merging onto oncoming traffic, correct?
I was coming across to make a left turn, going towards, I believe that's not Forest Park, like Terra Boulevard, towards that way.
So you were getting on Old Dixie.
Yes, sir.
All right. So my question to you again is, you were entering main traffic. In other words, you were merging onto the main road to maneuver to whatever direction you were going. Are you not aware that you have to yield to oncoming traffic?
Yes, I am, and that's what I did.
Well, okay, no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Aiken, do you have anything else or any other witnesses you'd like to call, sir?
No, that's it. I mean, that's all I got right now.
Mr. Aiken, have you typed your name and email address in the chat?
No, sir.
All right, what is your email address, sir?
My first name, last name, 912@gmail.com. I can type it in right now real quick.
If you'll do that and send it to FPMC, type your full name and your email address in the chat and send it to FPMC.
Hold on.
Ms. Yates, once you have received it, if you'll let me know that you have it.
Judge Freeman, we have his email address.
You have his email address. Okay,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Aiken, they already have your email address. All right, Mr. Aiken, do you rest your case, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Both sides have rested their case. The charge is failure to yield. The way the law reads regarding this is someone driving from a private right-of-way, namely coming out of a BT onto a state road or a road, has a higher duty to yield to oncoming traffic. Based on the testimony that's been presented, the court finds Mr. Aiken guilty of the offense of failure to yield. The fine amount is $175. Mr. Aiken, are you able to pay that in 2 weeks, or do you need to have a longer period of time to pay that?
Yeah, 2 weeks would be good.
Okay, sir, you will receive your case disposition form showing that you have been found guilty and ordered to pay a fine of $175, and that fine must be paid within 2 weeks. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, do you have any questions regarding the sentence of the court?
No, I don't have none.
Okay, well, Mr. Pitts, Ms. Allen, that will conclude this matter, and everyone can disengage from the call, including you, Officer Moore.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Indeed.
You all can disengage.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like that takes care of this morning's calendar. Is that correct?
I believe it does, Judge.